Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Myst 5 End of Ages. We spent most of the last hour-long episode trying to solve a puzzle, manipulating different kind of telescopes, and there was this broken telescope, and the solution was to just move this broken rope out of the way so we could walk forward. A very simplistic brute force solution for a game that should not have simplistic brute force solutions. We saw that in the other ice prison planet where the solution was to just put the tablet down and create a crack in the ground. Um, totally not what I'm expecting from a Myst game. And it certainly doesn't help that the major interaction is potentially bringing up the tablet or one of these tablets and drawing a picture that's selling a game really on one gimmick and one gimmick alone, and it's not even that interesting of a gimmick. It wasn't even interesting when I first played the game. If anything, it felt glitchy and didn't quite work. I feel like there's something about this region, or something about right-clicking a bunch, that takes you out of classic mouse click mode, when you really would prefer to stay in the mode you select, regardless of which mode that is. This is a very pretty looking skybox, but effectively that's all it is. And inherently, if you're going to reboot the Myst series, or make something like it, you just have to figure out some way to have a world border or physical barriers so you can't go too far without having everything either be too tall on some towering mountain or surrounded by water. You could probably help yourself quite a bit by just canonically having it stated that whatever ages are created are magically locked in a barrier, and you could even play with that where the barrier goes away or expands like a world border in Minecraft after you've solved certain puzzles. The world could start very small and simplistic, and then as you get a hang of interacting with the world, you could see a world border expand quite a bit. I feel like somebody's gonna talk to me, but it's, I guess, just the music kicking in. Right. So these are some kind of magical deny telescopes. Let's see what we see here. Well, we've got a x-axis, or y-axis to be correct, and then quite a glitch, it looks like. And yeah, yeah, that doesn't seem like that's going to work very well. Let's see, how do you even come out of this view? Right clicking is not doing anything, and this isn't doing anything. I guess you click to the top, which I should make a save file because I didn't actually do that. Right. So I don't know if maybe we're supposed to move something out of the way so we can see through that location, or if, because it was pointing in this direction before. Let's not change but one thing. Well, it definitely seems like the problem here is with that glitch, I can't really do anything. I think I was supposed to see a symbol from that distance, but yeah. Now I will see nothing, and it seems like I'll probably permanently see nothing. Unless there was some kind of reset button, and that's supposed to happen. Well, let's ignore it and see if there's something more to this area. You've got what looks like very much like the previous area, just another puzzle solution being told to you. Okay. So, let's assume that this is your central place, central location. Maybe it's telling me that there's a pathway to this and a way to teleport here. That would make sense. And then the solution for the 3 different points either are here, or I'm supposed to point the solution in that direction. So maybe we will go back to the telescope and solve something. Let's see what this does. The door is shut. Okay. So this is making a secret passage. Staircase. Alright. Nice. We have reached yet another area. And that seems to be the only real goals in this game, is to reach other areas. Down there is the red telescope room. So this seems like this is a way to call a vehicle. So let's pull this and see what happens. We saw some dials spin and we saw nothing else. Let's see what this does then. Do we have anything else to interact with? You have this trigger. It can be one way or the other. Seems like when you pull this once, it messes up. It's hitting something. But what we're not seeing here is any kind of vehicle. So let's just do this, which doesn't do anything. It feels like this might be the platform, but this looks like a light, and there doesn't seem like there's a button. So unless I'm supposed to just stand here, or unless I was supposed to tell the least characters, the little flag characters, to pull the switch for me, which I don't have a symbol to do that. We'll go up this way just to see if we miss anything. This button, I imagine, would return the stairs upward, which we should check to see if there's a secret passage hidden behind that secret passage. Nope. So it seems like there's more that has to be done first before we can reach the other sections, which is somewhat understandable. There's a lot of square footage here, though, that you can transverse with there really being no reason why you would want to transverse it. That's one thing. As weird as Myst games are as kind of point-and-click puzzle games, they really do help you out quite a bit by not forcing you to have to guess if maybe you need to stand on that one square or maybe that one square, because you know you just can't, and it doesn't make you have to look up in the sky to see if maybe there's some hidden visual thing. I do think, though, since I've already pulled the trigger and broken the seal on using a walkthrough and cheating, that I need to justify whether or not this telescope is broken or not. If it is broken, the walkthrough will tell me very quickly. If it's not broken and it's just not supposed to work that way, then the walkthrough will tell me. So, unfortunately, since it doesn't seem like there's anything else to interact with at the moment, okay. Okay. Let's how are we gonna fix this? I guess we might try and exit out and exit back in and see if that fixes it. We might just put the tablet down. Let's just put the tablet down and see if maybe that is part of the problem. Okay. the walkthrough tells me that there should be some symbols we find on the 3 pillars. Is this because I'm at 1080p resolution? I'm not really willing to change that setting. Let's see, is there possibly, like if I was to click shadows off and dynamic reflections off, and then look here, did that fix anything? Nope. You should be seeing something here. Anti-aliasing, anisotropic filtering, video quality, video texture. Seems like any of those would potentially require a reset. Texture quality, turn that down. Nope. That would require a reset. Video quality, turn that down. That would require a reset. Again, if we were at the recommended only settings, the highest resolution they recommended was 1280 by 1024, which is quite far away from 1920 by 1080. Clearly this isn't a solution though. Alright, so if we save here and then switch to this and then load back in, maybe that'll fix it. You can see the load's a little slow there. Yes. But that may not really solve anything if as soon as you spin it, it glitches. Okay. So then that would bring you back to maybe turning off all of these things, which we can turn off, and then loading back in again. Yeah, you can't really live by this though. And that didn't fix anything. Yep. You cannot solve the puzzle or live by that problem. And that second time we loaded in didn't even do anything. We could turn on vertical sync, I guess. Yeah, so you have this, and okay, it's not messing up now with vertical sync enabled. Hopefully it won't mess up. It's really only so far you can zoom in, though. Okay. And so this is what we were going for. So we needed these symbols, which at full zoom you can kind of read, although you kind of have to take a step back. So we know, can't take a picture here, but we know the solution now is for the top right pizza pie. We need the K with the bump, and we need the square at the top and left, top right and top and bottom right. And so let's take that coordinate and I guess I have to walk one more step that way, and then let's very quickly hold down the mouse cursor to run through many transition scenes that have absolutely nothing on them. Right. So we now have the actual solution to this, and this hopefully won't glitch either. I assume it's all the same technology. So, yeah. I'm thinking that might be the K with the bump, but it may not be. So, yeah, this has to be the K with the bump. And then square at the top right and square at the bottom right. Even though the squares aren't the same types of squares. It's gotta be here, doesn't it? That might be the symbol there. Nope, that's the symbol there. So this part isn't lining up. This isn't really showing us anything. Did I get the symbol wrong? Feels like it would be nice if you could just nudge these symbols with an arrow key up and down instead of having to use this click and drag method. You should be seeing something though. Feels like I should be seeing something and it's pretty obvious the way you'd fix a puzzle like this in the modern game development. You would potentially just have it always changing your view, and that way you know if you're getting closer or further away. It really doesn't seem like this could possibly reveal anything to you. Maybe that's the trick on this, is that we do just have to put in all the solutions first before it makes sense. Now, still don't really know what the dots here are all about, as far as seemingly you can change the lenses. Okay. It's unfortunately the case that a lot of games do fix their bugs if you just enable or disable vertical sync. There's definitely some weirdness around how those games were programmed. So it's something to always try. Certainly, there is also some Windows settings for the EXE as far as optimizations that Windows 10, Windows 11 tries to do that can cause more of a micro stuttering issue on like Lego games more than anything else. Okay, so K with this bump, that looks like we did the right thing. So I think the idea here is that we're seeking out some other things, but the pillars or the dials here might be in the way. Yeah. Seems to me like there's a possibility that there would be another coordinate here. Although I don't know if there really would be a way to see through that dial. Meanwhile, if you spin it all the way that way, that is the only visible thing. So my guess is that we actually are supposed to be teleporting ourselves to this spot using the coordinates, or using a symbol we get from those coordinates. That way we can then see if we can even zoom in on it. think there's another telescope here that we would use otherwise. But at least we fixed the glitch. Okay. Top right circle, K with a curved bump, and then LF as a symbol. We'll describe it that way. Again, struggling to just turn around and go down the stairs. Big time waster here. Nothing on this pillar seems to matter. So it should just be all this. And the weirdness here is you do have this K with a wavy, or it feels like a wavy line. Is it possible I'm reading things backwards? I mean, everything's a possibility, I guess, but... just don't see anything here. And I feel like I should be seeing something. That button's in the wrong place. It does seem to me like there's a nebula that's being filtered, and then a lot of stuff that's being filtered here. And that this is your best for seeing stars. And you would kind of assume that it would just zoom in. If you found the right combination and show you have the right combination. Guess we can try this. We can put this one backwards. And then do this. Let's see if swapping the locations of the key means something. Although that really wouldn't make a lot of sense. Come on. Although that weirdly did put us with the circle being much closer to the center. And now I'm seeing a blue nebula with this lens, and I'm seeing some blue symbols or just reflections of that. But if you had to get it that perfectly aligned, certainly asking a lot. I think the next step would probably be to put the symbols in a different... What was that? We're seeing a white dot flash for a second there. Seems like that's right. Again, we're just wasting a lot of time, though. There's a bump. This is supposed to be the solution. Alright, we'll try it on a different one. Same symbols. Can I zoom in a little bit more? Weird. Feels like the camera zoomed out more on this one. There's only going to be so many of these that would have access to the right symbols, and this may not be one of them. So all the solutions are now put in. If there was any chance at all of seeing something, now would be the time to see it. And yeah, I just don't see anything. I don't see a shape or a symbol, not anything you could draw with a tablet. Alright, well, we put in that solution. Maybe by putting in that coordinate, we could maybe use the other device. And see, the problem having found a glitch in a game like this is that you could easily get frustrated and just assume the game is glitching somewhere else, which it very well might be. Okay. We put that solution in. before we do anything else. Let's see if maybe we can find another coordinate. We may have to just find all the coordinates first. Yeah. Not really capable of seeing anything there. There's just really not anything else this could point to. You can look at that, or it could try to have a little bit more elevation and look up there. Would almost hope that the game would have just taken a note for you. But clearly, this is one of those transport spots. So, yeah. Maybe I put in the correct coordinate to use the transporter, not a Star Trek transporter, just the vehicle. Does this information help me any? Not really. Not at the moment, at least. But if this doesn't work, I'm going to have to go back to the walkthrough and try and figure out why it's not working. You'd expect to hear some sort of sound effect of the vehicle moving. If we had the correct coordinates put in or something like that. Wow, the whole thing seems just broken now. Okay, back to the walkthrough then. I think I've given it a fair amount of solutions, and it's possible that what I've done is absolutely wrong. Well, turns out we've run into the other problem with puzzle games is that they often become hidden object games, and there's apparently some levers here at this summit spot that I'm supposed to twist and turn. Where are the levers? No. Let me walk around and see if I can find them. Would make some sense, certainly, that all of this walkway would have some value to it. The only levers, though, we saw were these levers. So I'll have to read further in the walkthrough. It's written to give you just small hints and then just come out and tell you the whole solution. Wow. Okay. So this levers are manipulating these gears way up here so that there is potentially a second clear path of vision to, I guess, look over to this pillar. And so that is what I'm supposed to do. It looks like you could almost walk up this. Alright. So move this. We need that out of the way. The problem I see here with this idea of a puzzle, though, is you have too much, like just too much mechanical things in one place. So hearing the sound and seeing some gears and pulleys and ropes move in no way directly implies that the one thing that needs to move is moving. I would have had to have pulled that, potentially, and tried to run up here, and obviously you just can't move fast enough to see it move. So it would also potentially have made sense for there to be a screen or a model depicting what's happening. Okay. Yeah, I think the solution is still there, but that first movement didn't cause anything to happen. So is it really realistic to have a player wander back and forth, flipping the same switches multiple times? I would say probably not. My guess is that when the lever is one way, it raises a heavy weight, like a counterweight. And then when the lever is the other, it releases the counterweight to move something even bigger. Really does not feel like anything is happening here. And how many times can you really brute force this? Again, I think it would make more sense to just go back to the walkthrough. Okay. We hear things moving. Unless I'm misunderstanding the walkthrough, which is a small possibility there, certainly. But I really do have to question, what is the value of brute forcing this and figuring it out on yourself when it is just being intentionally cryptic? That's enough of a try, in my opinion. Let me switch back down there and then read the exact instructions. Of course, the exact instructions make the assumption that everything would have been set to its default state. I don't know if this resets its state. They move a large pulley on the upper portion of the pillar around. You need to manipulate them so that the lower gears turn once. This should entail leaving the top lever alone, which I'm not sure which one was the default state, but I suspect it was this. Pulling the bottom lever down one time. Theoretically, that's all I should have done originally. But this definitely makes me feel like what is happening is not that this part is spinning. At best, this part is spinning. You would kind of think there might be a way to look. Maybe I'm supposed to be looking at this pillar, or maybe I've already done it and I'm just failing miserably to see it. That could also be the case. Right. let's check here. Let's see if maybe we can find some other symbols. Almost certainly the symbols are supposed to be through these gears. And I don't think they're supposed to be like through that gear. Because, yeah. It doesn't really seem reasonable. I don't think I'm supposed to be looking into the star field in space. I do think they are actually on the ground. So, yeah. Ah, there we go. So we found a symbol, 3 circles at the bottom with a circle at top and 3 lines. That took an incredibly long amount of time to find. And so twice now we've seen the gimmick is to have you look far in the distance, although in this case they gave you a magnifier to actually, a telescope to look through, whereas in the first area you just had to squint your eyes, or in my case bring out a cell phone with a high-powered zoom. Okay. Oh, do I have? No, the tablet was there. I put it down. Let's hope that works. Because you get different sound effects if you enter the bubble, so. I'm not really loving the idea of writing something down and then dropping the tablet. I don't know how you would really make a game where you were controlling other characters via drawing symbols any easier. My guess is what you'd probably do is you draw the symbols and you'd have some kind of translator that would make a sound, and then creatures would interact based on the sound, that every symbol was also a sound. I guess I'm standing too close. It's almost why there's so many places you can stand. It's just so you can get away from the creatures. I think at this point we could probably hold on to the tablet. And potentially this isn't going to be that difficult now. Just gotta figure out where we're supposed to be looking, which You would think in any other Myst game you would have found a book or some object of interest. But no such luck here. That's the central area. But there is a symbol here. See if we can fiddle with this enough. Okay, it's a easy enough one. Lower right is a plus and then a column. Which guess to get there we just click this. Or try to click that. We're probably going to have to go back to that area later. But we may finish this whole puzzle pretty quickly. Now that we kind of know what we're doing. Sort of know what we're doing. Of course, there's still a lot of room for problems. Looks like we might at some point look at the moon. We can see ourselves teleporting to the moon. So yeah, I could see like this white spot potentially being the final location. I guess the ballroom, the least creatures, the fly creatures, would have had to make the keeps and put them in specific places to make this quest a thing, knowing that the quest needed to be a thing, unless the keep and the quest for unlocking the circular tablet was made by the Deny people, which is also somewhat believable. Okay. Would there be perhaps another side? Teleport yourself, or another section teleport yourself to. Let's just zoom out completely. See if we can figure it out. That seems like that's the solution. That is lit up well. Just doesn't feel like it would be that well lit up. that wasn't your next step. But I don't see a symbol or a pedestal, and it is a really small area. Do I need to potentially move? No, it's not that I needed to move this telescope. I needed the telescope to be in the exact correct configuration to see through this hole. Wow. Even being slightly off would have been no good. Kind of the problem here, though, is as you zoom in, you would expect that the left and right would nudge a little bit more, and they would move at a slower pace, slower scale, based on the zoom, and they kind of don't. They move in simple metric numbers. Okay, a circle with a line going down, and a bigger circle with a line going to the top right. Okay. So we'll draw that. And we'll hope that's good enough. You would kind of imagine that in any other Myst game, you would walk around this island, there'd be a hut, there'd be something to look at, something to at least be a red herring and a distraction. Yeah, I don't know if the guy's gonna actually show up. I may be too close in every step, every place I can be. Well, whatever. We'll teleport ourselves back. And then we're very far away now, and we'll just wait here and see if a new symbol shows up. Yes, it did. So we can now just teleport there. And yes, this opens up more possibilities. And I do think that there probably is just enough here for probably 10-20 minutes more of gameplay before we finalize this age. And then we'll start up, I imagine in the next episode we'll start up the next age. And yeah, at that point we'll be halfway through. We're probably about halfway through now.
Your destination is not here, but above. The stars and planets must be aligned. And regrettably, it is only the perverted power of the creatures that can do it. Make then.
I would say the phrase perverted is probably a poor choice of words here. If you just said evil power, or evil would be a better word to use. Clearly, Eshu is all about being willing to use the least to do whatever his bidding is, or to have you do whatever your bidding is. He's making an argument, not really that at the end of the game you should hand him the circular tablet. He's making the argument that you personally, as the player, should hold on to the circular tablet, and that you would be the strong enough, smart enough, wise enough character to rebuild Dunny and use the Least as a slave race, effectively. Alright, well, I don't want these episodes to just get longer and longer, so that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want to support me further, there's some links down below in the description box. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.